What's up, YouTubers? So before we get started with this video, on ESPN, they're going to be talking about, is there a strong chance that Manny Pacquiao might fight Terrence Crawford? So let's see what they have to say about that.
The last time we saw the living legend Manny Pacquiao in the boxing ring was July of 2019 when he defeated then WBA welterweight champion Keith Thurman. Mark Kriegel, the next time we may see him could be June 5th in the Middle East. Multiple reports of Pacquiao ready to return to take on the guy who's number one on ESPN's pound-for-pound list, Terrence Bud Crawford.
Oh yeah, I hope to see that. I hope they're able to make that fight happen because that would be one great fight.
Well, it was first reported by The Athletic. I thought, wow, this is a great fight. I think it's a real long shot. Listen, the first time it was broached was when Pacquiao was still under contract to Top Rank. Like Crawford, here we are years later. I don't think these things get any easier. We're finding out that the easiest thing to do in boxing is to talk about getting a fight with Manny Pacquiao. Ask Ryan Garcia. The most difficult thing to do in boxing, getting a fight with Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, but if they are able to make this fight, that'll be an excellent fight. They're both fighters will be challenged. Manny Pacquiao still has. Don't think because he's up to an age that man doesn't still have hands, because he does. He's one of the best fighters of his generation. Terrence Crawford is definitely, well, he's undefeated right now, and is absolutely killing it. This would be an excellent fight that I don't know who I lean towards. So I want to kind of go with Terrence Crawford, but you can never sleep on Manny Pacquiao. But this would be a great fight if they're able to make it happen.
Be a little bit more optimistic, from what I'm hearing. I'm hearing the fight is going to take place, and this is the name, right? This is the name that critics have been calling for from Terrence Crawford. And apparently, from what I'm reading, Terrence Crawford hasn't fought anybody. I guess Ricky Burns in his home country of Scotland isn't anybody. Coming right back and facing Yuriorkis Gamboa, when Gamboa at that time was being considered the next Floyd Mayweather, going to 140 pounds and cleaning out the division, literally winning every belt, beating a guy named Victor Postol, who's still fighting strong at that time, and then coming to the welterweight division, calling for the big names, unable to get those big names, but then beating Jeff Horn, the fighter who gave Manny Pacquiao all he wanted in Australia a year after Pacquiao fought this young man. So Manny Pacquiao is the name that the critics are calling from, and hopefully Terrence Crawford can get that name.
Yeah, I hope they can get that fight going too. And I also like to see Manny Pacquiao maybe in Earl Spence. Earl Spence is a monster too. Either Earl Spence or Terrence Crawford would be a great fight for Manny Pacquiao. And like I said, I think I might have to lean towards maybe Terrence Crawford beating Manny Pacquiao. But it'll be a very, very close fight. And like I said, Manny Pacquiao is nobody you want to be sleeping on. I don't care how old he gets. That man still has hands and he can still fight. But I think in the end, if he fights Terrence Crawford, I have to lean towards Terrence Crawford. But it'd be a very, very close, great fight. So I don't know.
That's a mean name, Dre. I gotta say, that's a mean name. I've been 36 rounds with that guy, man. And I've been over 100 rounds with Terrence Bud Crawford, and it was just early in Terrence's career. I understand that he's gotten a lot better from where he was when I did spar him, but there's tendencies are still the same. And Manny Pacquiao, let me tell you, he loves, and I'm gonna go ahead and spill it right now. I wanna let you guys know, Manny Pacquiao loves when guys pull back. That's a problem. And you also know that Terrence Bud Crawford gets hit early, and he gets hit often early. Manny Pacquiao is a quick starter as well, and he still has that blazing left hand, that backhand that he has, that possession.
Yeah, you better believe that he does.
This is a massive amount of punching power. So this is a dangerous fight. This isn't one of those fights where you can say, well, Bud Crawford should win this fight hands down. No, I'm going to tell you that right now. This fight is very dangerous. I would slightly favor Terrence Bud Crawford, but at any point during the fight, if you see Terrence Crawford touch the canvas or you see Pacquiao touch the canvas, hey, this is a real big deal fight for Terrence Bud Crawford.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I agree too. Like I said, this is going to be a great fight if they're able to make it happen. But like I said, you never want to sleep on a Manny Pacquiao, no matter how old that man gets, because he still has that power, he still has those fast hands, and definitely not anything you want to be sleeping on. But at the same time, I think Terrence Crawford, since he's a little bit younger, or he's a lot younger, like I said, the man's undefeated. The man's on beast mode right now. So I'd have to give this slight, and I mean very slight edge to Terrence Crawford. to beat Manny Pacquiao. But it's not going to be a cakewalk. It's not going to be very easy. This should definitely go down as one of his toughest fights. But I think in the end, I'd have to go with Terrence Crawford. If even able to make this fight happen, which I hope they are. This fight has too much money that could be made off of it. I don't see why they wouldn't be able to get this fight going for either party. I mean, it's not like they're fighting against scrubs. This should be a great pay-per-view fight that people will pay money to see.
It's still Manny Pacquiao in the ring. Now it's a 42-year-old Manny Pacquiao against a prime 33-year-old, 37-0 with 28 knockouts, #1